Phil, what do you think they look like?
Well, according to the Quran, they're made of smokeless fire. To me, that indicates that they're plasma, the state between matter and energy. And they can take on different forms. And the plasma field that they're composed of is probably contained by a magnetic field which can be rearranged. They can take on different forms. They can take on the forms of animals. They can take on the forms of other people, humans. They could take on the forms of what they like the most. Some of them are gargoyle-like demonic-looking entities. They're shapeshifters, and I also believe that they are the shapeshifters mentioned by the Native Americans, the Tricksters. Jinn are notorious for pulling pranks and tricks on people and twisting things around, especially the younger Jinn. And you have to remember that Jinn live a very long time. Their lifespan in comparison to humans is very long. The Quran says 1,000 years, but you know the word 1,000 is thrown around quite a bit.
Right.
I believe they exist. They live for a longer period of time, that perhaps tens of thousands of years, and they have young. And the young seem to be very curious about human beings. When I say the young Jinn, a young Jinn could be 500, 600, 700, 800 years old. No one really knows. In Islam, in the Islamic belief, the devils, the so-called devil, is a Jinn by the name of Iblis. And he was cast out of paradise with his tribe, a very high order of Jinn, because they would not bow to human beings, Adam.
Well, it's interesting too. In Arabic, for devil, it's Satan, which is
right.
Which we call Satan, of course.
Right, and that means the deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
But in Christianity, the devil is replaced by a fallen angel, not a Jinn. The Jinn are not mentioned in Christianity. They're replaced by demonic entities or fallen angels. In many of the Muslim writings, they refer to devils. And when they refer to devils, they're referring to evil Jinn.
And then we have these, like, terrorist Jinn who are very resentful for having lost their place when human beings came onto the scene. The Jinn who are hostile to us would like to see us out of their world. They consider this their world. And I think that they're looking for ways that they can infiltrate this world and anchor into it.
They were in this physical world long before human beings, and they had fantastic technology, they had cities, they were building, but they made war with each other. They started polluting the environment, and they were on the verge of destroying themselves because they became uncontrollable and very powerful. And according to the Islamic legend, Allah said to the angels, get them out of there. They're going to destroy the physical universe, put them in a place where they cannot hurt others and themselves. They seem to be ruled by kings, very powerful Jinn. And we don't know if there are a number of Jinn kings or one Jinn king. But below that, they definitely they have clans. And the clans are, once again, they have a clan leader, and the clans are divided into families, and the families have a family leader. Jinn are ranked according to their knowledge and how old they are.
What do you think they want with the human race?
I think that they want to have domination over us. We're the ones who have dominion over this world, this physical realm, and many of the Jinn feel that that is rightfully theirs. Areas that have caves and mine shafts in them, especially old abandoned mine shafts, are really riddled with Jinn. I think that we have many Jinn habitats right here in America.
Most of the Jinn, by the way, if they're not taking a hideous form, which they do to scare humans sometimes, they're supposed to be like made of the purest of fire, and they can take on very, very wonderful, beautiful forms. But they do have two sexes, and one of the other things is that they seem to be able to have children with humans, and that's forbidden in Islam. the Queen of Sheba was supposed to be the child of a human and a jinn.
The jinn are everywhere. And as I mentioned earlier, we have jinn pockets right here in America. The jinn are chameleon-like in their ability to make us think that we're dealing with something else.
What's going on here? When you factor in the idea of the jinn, this ancient race, into the equation, the entire paranormal and the UFO phenomena starts to make sense. One thing you have to consider about dimensional beings in the UFO phenomena is that even Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who was the dean of ufology, he believed that, most of this UFO stuff is dimensional in nature. They're beings from another dimension.
In Middle Eastern lore, prayers will burn the jinn, and that causes them to want to get away from you.
Religion talks about hell. Could they be talking about where the jinn hang out?
I think they're in kind of a hell. They're like in a dimension that's devoid of physical pleasures which they want. The jinn do have free will, and so they really can't be cast away. But according to the Islamic belief, jinn as well as humans, as angels, are going to be answerable to all the things that they've done at the Day of Judgment. And according to what I found out, some jinn do believe this. They do believe in God, so they believe that if they do things wrong, they're going to be held accountable for it. But then again, some jinn don't. Some jinn, just like people, are psychotic, and they will come after you, and they will cause you harm. But most of the time, I think they like to masquerade themselves and appear like spirits or extraterrestrials or spirit guides or other things like that, ascended masters, just to walk in and get your confidence to make this connection. And once you make the connection, they're very hard to get rid of. I do believe that jinn are responsible for a lot of our beliefs in different gods and demigods and so on.
What's the devil want with us?
He wants to get people into hell. And so the best and fastest way to accomplish that is to destroy a person's faith. And that's what we see happening with the people who have, for the most part, followed these sightings. In fact, one policeman who started to really follow UFOs, he made this statement. He said, quote, "During the weeks of these sightings, I became totally obsessed with UFOs, convinced that something great was about to happen. I abandoned my daily Bible reading and turned my back on God." So essentially, from any standpoint, it's going to usually drive a person further and further away from the gospel, and that's what we see happening.
Why is there so much evil on this planet, Michael?
Well, especially now because we're in the last days, and so there is an acceleration of evil toward the very end of humanity, and so there are going to be layers and layers of different kinds of deceptions that will proliferate and have been seen, of course, now, especially because of the times that we're living in. And that's why it's happening. It's such an incredible accelerated rate right now because we're closing out the end of the world. And so Satan knows that his time is short, and so he's really, so to speak, trying to throw everything at humanity to condemn them. The evidence to me is pretty obvious that they're definitely demonic, and that's another point, that the SETI project, which I guess now has been closed down.
It's tabled for a while, yeah.
Yeah, they've been scanning, looking for some intelligent signal out there for how long, and they haven't been able to pick up anything. And the reason why is that there's nothing out there. And the other thing is that, like, if these UFOs are out there, why don't they just get on with it and take us over? I mean, how long do they have to observe us, especially if they're so advanced technologically? I mean, what's the endless medical procedures, the endless viewing and watching of the planet? I mean, they would know within a few weeks, if not sooner, everything they would need to know about Earthlings and humanity. And so at that point they would just reveal themselves, take over, or destroy us, or whatever. And so the evidence is clear that they're setting people up for a deception. And that's what scientists are now saying that have examined the evidence, that it's like a stage, like a holographic image to change your belief system.
Are you ready, folks? Everything's about to change. The whole world is about to change. The supernatural will soon overcome the natural. The supernatural will become commonplace. The world will embrace the supernatural realm like it's the natural realm. Soon, the world will be immersed into Satan's kingdom, much like it was the time of Moses, when magicians were able to turn rods into serpents. This world no longer has any desire for that which is natural. They want something beyond the natural. Now, unfortunately, they're not seeking in the right place. This world has a appetite. They have a hunger and a thirst for something beyond the norm, something beyond the physical realm. They are longing and desiring to tap into something beyond this world. And they're going to get it. They're going to get it. What they call the New Age. It's coming. And Babylon eventually is going to fall upon this world. That spiritual city Satan has prepared. Just like the Lord has a kingdom and has a city, the new heavenly Jerusalem, so the devil, he also has a city. He has a kingdom. And Babylon will soon fall upon this earth. It'll come down upon this earth. But you must understand that this is not just totally, completely supernatural. This is going to be a mix together with technology and human and demonic. It's going to be a mix together. I don't know altogether what's going on, people. I just want you to know that we're entering into a realm of the supernatural, and things that are going to take place on this earth, you and I are going to say, that couldn't have happened a few years ago. There's no way that could have happened. And I want you to understand, we're moving into a realm that the Bible calls lying signs and wonders, that the Antichrist is going to have the ability to work miracles, people. Are you listening? So that's what this message is for, is to prepare you, wake you up, make you realize that, it's not going to be just the physical realm going forward. We're moving into a supernatural realm.
Amen.